When you are talking about the Seventh-day Adventist Church and abortion, you will often hear leaders in the church use the word nuance. Walla Walla theology professor Pedrito Reed said abortion is a nuanced issue. Or, for example, here in the Adventist Review, Andrews University professor Nicholas Miller says abortion would require a nuanced approach. Or here is Dwayne Leslie, Associate Director for the GC Religious Liberty Department. Listen carefully to his words here.
Many evangelical churches have a very strict pro-life all the time, no matter what, limited exceptions. If you go to look at the actual language of the Adventist view, it's much more nuanced. It is not an absolute. They talk about the sanctity of life, but it also understands that there may be situations medically. I don't have the specific language off the top of my head, but it's a much more nuanced view. But I think our church's official stance is a much more nuanced position.
A nuance is a quality of something that is not easy to notice but may be important. Highlight, it is not easy to notice. Or a subtle distinction or variation, or a subtle difference in meaning. Notice the word subtle, which means difficult to understand or perceive, and so delicate or precise as to be difficult to analyze or describe. When leaders in our church say there are nuances on abortion, by definition they are saying that murdering unborn children is an issue so complicated because it is not easy to know. It is difficult to understand or perceive. Now compare the word nuance to the word distinction, a difference or contrast between similar things, or the distinguishing of a difference. A distinction is a difference that is easy to understand, but a nuance is a difference that is not easy to understand. It is difficult to understand. Number one, the act of abortion itself is not difficult to understand. It's very easy. Just by reading textbooks or watching videos, you instantly see here what's happening to this child. It is being killed. This is not difficult to understand. As my former cellmate once said, everyone understands violence. Number two, either this is just a clump of cells or it is a human being. If it's just a tumor or clump of cells, then there is no problem. You can remove it from your body. But if this is a human being, then abusing or hurting it is a big problem. We Adventists believe right here that the Bible is authoritative, and the authors of the Bible defined the unborn as children, as sons, as babies, and as brothers. The Bible consistently and unanimously defined the unborn as living human children with the exact same words used to define born children, and as such are under the complete protection of the Sixth Commandment. As Seventh-day Adventists, because the Bible is our authoritative source of truth, it is not difficult to see these definitions stated so plainly for everyone to read. The Bible makes no distinction between their humanity. The only distinction is their geographical location. Some children are outside the mother's womb, while some are inside the mother's womb. Whether a child is in their mother's house, mother's car, mother's arms, or in the mother's womb, the geographical position makes no difference. A child is a child is a child, and it's always wrong to intentionally hurt, abuse, torture, or kill children. Jesus was Jesus in Mary's womb. Jesus was Jesus when he was born in Bethlehem. Jesus was Jesus in the manger, riding on a donkey and on the cross. Location and circumstances did not make him less Jesus, because location and circumstances do not make you less human. This is not nuanced. It's very easy and straightforward. The only people in the Adventist church who use the word nuance are almost always, 100% of the time, are highly conditioned people with MDivs, THDs, JDs, DMins, and PhDs. I say conditioned because in order to get these degrees, you must sit there for several years and be conditioned to actually listen to these absolutely horrific, terrible ideas and respond to them as if they are actually ideas worthy of respect. The word logorrhea means pathologically incoherent, repetitious speech. The word is related to diarrhea, an inability to stop something far more unpleasant from flowing. In other words, logorrhea means diarrhea of the mouth. The idea that abortion is a nuanced issue is nothing more than diarrhea of the mouth. These people are regurgitating nonsense that they just picked up at the seminary. And what's worse is that after paying over $100,000 for their degree, they can't even explain it. When asked to explain why this is difficult, they just stutter and mumble nonsense and try to move on to another topic as fast as possible. Not one leader in the entire worldwide Adventist church can produce a single scripture or evidence to support intentionally killing children. Not one. The topic of abortion is very easy and simple, and they are trying to create the illusion that it is actually a very difficult, complicated topic. It's not. The unborn are children, and you cannot intentionally kill children. As I've pointed out in my other videos, when pressed on the question, one of the most common tactics that Adventist leaders use is to focus only on the mother's life exception and ignore the other 4 exceptions. The Adventist Church supports abortion for 5 circumstances, but leaders are notorious for focusing only on the mother's physical life and ignore the other 4. Listen again to Dwayne Leslie and see if you can notice it.
It is not an absolute. They talk about the sanctity of life, but it also understands that there may be situations medically. I don't have the specific language off the top of my head.
There may be situations medically, as I've explained repeatedly in my other videos, abortion to save a mother's physical life, for example, in rare cases like eclampsia or ectopic pregnancy, is not intentional because the intent is to save life and it is not necessary to kill the child. The pregnancy is terminated by delivering the child early. Sometimes the baby lives and sometimes it dies, but it's not the intent to kill the child. That is a distinction easy to understand. The position on abortion, however, contains 4 other circumstances that are all intentional. Leaders just say the word nuance and hope that you are not smart enough to catch on to their word games and euphemisms. I have on multiple times called leaders on this and they never ever give an answer. They cannot because they don't have one. It's just a magic show. The next time that someone in the Adventist church tells you that abortion is nuanced, immediately stop them and ask them to explain. Number 1, why do the authors of the Bible consistently and unanimously define the unborn as living human children with the same words used for born children? Where's the nuance there? Number 2, as they are children protected by the 6th commandment, where is the biblical authority to intentionally kill a child? And number 3, if they are so skilled in subtleties and nuances, then go for the Achilles heel with this question. What is the biblical principle distinguishing a baby born 2 months premature from a 7-month fetus, making it a crime to kill the first, but merely an exercise of personal freedom to destroy the second? This question is the jugular question. If you can ask that question, you will stop them in their tracks cold. In my opinion, the use of the word nuance is used to intimidate and confuse lay people in the church. It's not meant to help or explain anything. It's just used as a power word to bully people into silence. In other words, it's just a big fat phony sham, and you should call them on it every single time. This is a very serious topic. We are not talking about the identity of the 144,000. We are talking about the violent torture and murder of little children. You can also ask them, what about child rape? Why is killing children so nuanced, but raping children is not? But of course they have no answer. It's just a scam. There is no nuance. The unborn are children, and it's wrong to kill children.